I was in an episode of Criminal Minds. Whoa. It is like on, you know, Watch Mojo and stuff like that. Those list things. Oh. It's listed as like the darkest, most satanic episode of Criminal Minds.
Why don't you like corn, bro?
I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, I've not liked it.
One of the most valuable lessons you've learned in being in a leadership position
is to go with the flow. Things are going to go wrong, and if you are trying so hard to keep it exactly the way that you envision it, with no leeway, you're going to crumble.
I'll tell you something like I learned the hard way, I guess, and that is you can't lead everybody the exact same way.
Oh, that's
3, I'm gonna beat my head on yours. 1, go!
And gentlemen, start your engine!
Welcome to another episode of Cabin Time. With me, as always, but not always, we have Sam.
Hello.
We have PB.
Yo.
And then we have a guy that you may have seen. Last time you saw him, he looked a bit different.
Yes.
Still can't get over
this
it.
Guy is
I know.
Probably the coolest guy I've ever met in my whole life.
Wow.
It is myself.
True story.
It is myself.
Plot
All
twist.
right. Anyways,
Dang.
but we also have another guy who looks a lot different than the last time you saw him. You know, he's tapped in with SoCal Youth Alive. He's tapped in with having two dudes. Last time he only had one dude born.
Oh, okay.
Born. Born.
I was like, whoa.
He has two dudes born now. Last time we introduced him with one dude. So we have Eliot. Mr. If that's his even middle name, it's on his Instagram, Boyd Bland.
Yeah, that is.
Yes.
The most uncomfortable introduction of all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. You never know what to expect at Cabin Time up over here, man.
Cabintime.co. Anything can happen.
Yep. How's it feel to have two boys now?
Feels good.
Shooting for the girl?
We'll see. But we have our hands full right now. But it's been fun, and it's an honor to be back on Cabin Time.
Yeah.
Whoa,
No, it's an
let's
honor
go.
to have you back on Cabin Time, Eliot. Man, freaking love you, bro.
Last time we had you on, it was, season 1?
Yep.
Early days.
Yep.
That's crazy.
My boy's a vet. He agreed to come on with our booth microphones too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for that, we give you a salute.
Now everybody's you got guests coming in.
Yep, we're valid this season. You know, what can I say?
Have you had a return guest yet, or am I?
No, I think you're the first.
No,
returning person.
we had Pastor
We had
Kevin,
Pastor
bro, but he
Kevin.
wasn't there. He wasn't there.
I wasn't there for that episode.
We have a returning guest that it actually took a lot of time and effort to plan out because Pastor Kevin's our dog. He's like always over here.
Yeah. You
So-
know, I took school ministry classes with Pastor Kevin.
You did?
and his mom.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Dang, bro.
Dang.
How long ago was that?
Yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah,
I
I know,
Back in the
man,
day.
dude.
It was a while.
Wow, bro. Imagine being alive back in the day, bro. How old are you, bro?
I'm 27 now.
Dude.
Wow.
So old, bro.
man.
So old.
27.
What's your favorite dinosaur, bro?
How old are you, PB?
We don't like
What?
to speak
Say
on
it.
that.
Hey, that's racist.
He's an amazing
Let's move on.
22 years old.
No, PB's like, you don't look a day over 15.
That's right.
Dude.
When you shave, yeah.
Yeah.
You showed up
Dude,
to
shave,
camp.
bro.
You showed up to
Shaved for
camp,
camp.
cleanly shaved.
You did? Wait,
Bro,
did
no,
you?
it was an accident, okay?
Yeah.
I was literally shaving while texting students, which I learned. Do not text students while shaving because you're going to forget that you're shaving. And next thing you know, zoom.
Rookie
Amen,
mistake.
brother. Amen, brother. Anyways, Eliot, how's SoCal Youth Alive doing right now?
It's good. We're gearing up for our rally.
Yep,
our
bro.
Youth Alive rally.
Bro, let 'em know.
September 30th.
Uh-huh. Hey,
September
hey,
30th.
tell them.
Yeah.
Hey, this is
Norco.
coming out in 2 months, so it'll be well past by
So
then.
hopefully you enjoyed it
Yep.
and it was a good time.
Hey, hey, the Youth Alive rally was the best thing I've ever
yeah, what'd you
been
guys
to.
think about it?
It was so tight,
Dude,
bro.
it was amazing.
What was
I
your
heard-
favorite part?
When Kanye West led worship.
Wow.
Yep. When Dragon came in.
Oh, man.
Elliot pulled up on a dragon.
Yeah.
BB brought us all on separate mongoose.
Yeah, he flew us in on a private jet, and we landed a
I
helicopter
know.
on site.
Youth budget, let's go.
Yeah. But if you're free, you know, pull up to SoCal Youth Alive Rally. If you were free 2 months ago,
If you were free 2 months, I got you still trying to advertise it, even though
I hope you could have went. I hope you can go back in time and go.
Yeah.
What?
This will be the test of his if like time travel's real.
Yep.
Because we're releasing
Oh,
this.
snap.
So if you're watching this, show up and then tell us
Yep.
you heard about the rally through cabin time.
Whoa.
And then if
Yep.
you come up to me on September 30th and say that, I know you're a time traveler.
Yep, bro.
Yeah.
Yep, bro.
Or you're a stalker and you're watching us film this right now.
Wow.
It's true.
Come on, what event is 2 months from now that you can advertise to them?
Called will probably be the
Oh,
next
yep.
event coming up.
Pull up to
Oh,
called
call
then, bro.
conference?
Yeah, be
Pull
a
up to
called
called.
conference if you have
Yeah.
a call
Yep.
on your life.
And Elliot will personally give you $100 to each person who came.
Personally.
Oh,
I will
stop.
not.
What?
I will not.
It's
do
in
give
the
you a high
terms of the
five.
conditions, bro.
Yeah.
You are you in a fantasy league?
I'm in 3. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this guy's
So,
tapped in
There's
right
a
now,
game.
huh?
There's a game happening right now. This is the first Monday night football game of the season, and I'm here at cabin
Yep.
time.
Wow.
Just for
So
preference,
We
much I love
appreciate
you guys.
that. We
how far back we recorded this EP, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I looked on B-Reel yesterday, and I look on DJ's B-Reel, and he has 2 TVs stacked on top of each other, and he's watching 2 separate games. And I was
Yeah.
like,
That
bro,
guy
God,
likes sports.
He's got
though,
the
huh?
2
He
TVs
likes
set up,
sports.
and he was like, yeah, I have a 3rd game going on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy really likes sports, huh?
Yeah.
Imagine liking sports, Pastor Brian.
Yeah. Imagine like in
Yeah.
sports.
Yep. Who's your favorite football team, bro? The Denver Nuggets.
Yeah. What's the one that where you throw the ball through the hoop and people?
That's golf.
Underwater basket
Golfing's
weaving.
the best sport
Yeah,
ever.
bro.
Yeah, it's okay, bro. Maybe one day you'll get into sports.
No, it's
but
okay. It's
for
okay.
now, Elliot,
Personally
why,
for everything.
Elliot, why don't you like corn, bro?
I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, I've not liked it. I've tried it again at older ages. It's everything. It's like the taste, the consistency. I don't know, man. It's like
Haunts you, bro.
yeah. And even like at the fair or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't like corn. I never have and I never will. I've tried it at different points in my life, but and it's everything about it. It's the flavor, it's the texture.
That's
Just
like,
a big
But
lump
but
of
I do
knobs.
eat like corn tortillas or popcorn because
Okay.
everyone wants to always ask that. But it's like it's corn kernels.
Dang.
They're just gross,
okay.
and I'm not a fan, and I never will be.
Wow.
I
When,
respect that.
when we had Solomon on, we drank a nice ice cold glass of corn soda.
I think I probably could do that. Is if
Yeah.
there wasn't any actual kernels in it,
Yeah,
I'd be
bro.
fine.
Oh,
You know what
okay.
it
But it
is?
tastes just like corn.
It tasted exactly like
tastes-
sweet corn.
Then maybe I couldn't have done it.
You
was
shouldn't have told
exactly-
him that Solomon told us. I'm trying to get weird, bro. I was. You didn't even.
Solomon said that he was trying to get weird, or you're.
No, I'm trying to get weird right now because I'm trying to like.
Oh, make
I'm
it
trying
seem
to
like
tell
you
you
did
things.
research or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
I was
bro.
a little.
He did do
I
the
was.
research.
He
I
didn't
was-
even like. He just responded to the question. He wasn't even like, "How does this guy know
Yeah.
that?"
I was
like,
impressed, but also like it's enough well known about me at this point that it's
Oh.
like it doesn't shock me
Okay.
when people know it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang, bro. You ever tried like an elote though?
Nah. I mean like at the fair they got like the roasted corn, and that was the
Yeah.
last time. I don't know. I must have been in high school or something, but I smelt it and I'm like, it smells so good. I'm not like blind to that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It smells delicious, so I'm like maybe I'll like it. So I tried it, got butter, salt, all of it, and just like it's disgusting.
Really?
Dang.
Yeah.
Dude, corn is like Chipotle. That makes my bowl, bro.
Yeah, people love
oh,
corn. People are usually weirded out by it, but
Yeah. No, I'm not
I
weirded
feel like
out.
you're like
my
the first
thing.
person I've ever
I
heard
accept you
that's
as you
like-
are, bro.
thank you.
I feel like you're the first person I've ever heard that's like, I don't like corn or anything like that. I don't feel like I've never heard of someone be like, I don't like that food. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm unique.
Mhm. Can you give me a backstory on something real quick, bro?
Okay.
All right. So every year your birthday comes around and I follow you, bro.
Yeah.
And a post
Like in
comes up.
person or what?
No, oh, well, I mean, depends on the day. If I'm free, if I'm
Okay,
off,
okay, good.
I'll pull up. But I follow you, bro.
Yeah.
And there's always this post that circulates every year on your birthday. I've only been following you for 2 years. It was like a year ago from now I followed you. And then this
Okay.
year I saw the same post. And it's like, did you have an acting career, bro? What is that video?
Yeah, yeah. So when I was in like elementary school and stuff, some random people came up to our family at the mall and were like, "Your kids." It's like a scam, okay?
Yeah.
But we thought we got discovered. But they're like, "Your kids are so cool. They should be in acting." And basically, they just pay for. They want you to go and be in this like
Yeah.
agency where you do background acting. And so we did it. And I was in background acting for like a little bit of my elementary school life.
Yeah.
I was in an episode of Criminal Minds.
No way.
I'll tell you this story. Yeah. So I had to like do an audition for like a McDonald's commercial or whatever. I did not get it.
Is that what that video was?
That's what that video was. Yeah. But the thing I did get, so they would send like text to my mom and be like, hey, we need, and usually it was just like real generic. They'd send the message out to like all the parents, and it was kind of first come, first serve, you know? Like, we need a little white kid. And then, so this time though, they were like, they reached out to my mom and called her, and they say, the director of the episode hand selected Eliot, which means he doesn't have any lines, but he will get like screen time. Like, he will be seen.
Dang.
No way.
And so my mom was like, all right, I'll allow it. So she sends me in, and my youth pastor's wife took me to the event.
Okay.
And so we were filming somewhere in LA, right? And we pull up, and it's at a church. Like, the venue is like a church.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, this is perfect, you know? God set it all up.
Yup.
So we show up, and I don't have to do much. Like, we had to like get out of a minivan and give the priest like food. That was all we did. But I made sure,
really?
like, I saw where the camera was, and then I like positioned myself in a place where I would be seen. And I was. And so what happens? They tell you. I met Shamar Moore, the dude from Criminal Minds. He was so cool.
Yeah.
He was like, I wish I had my fake gun. I'd let you hold it for the picture.
Dang,
Oh my
bro.
He was a cool guy. But they say like, oh, in 2 months your episode will air. And I'm like, okay.
Just like here.
So yeah. You guys must be on the same
Yep,
schedule
yep.
as Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, it'll air at this point. And then they send us a text like, this exact date. Here's when it's airing. So that happened to be a Wednesday night. And we, at that point, did Wednesday night church at my church.
Yeah.
I'm a pastor's kid. My parents are the pastors there. Mm-hmm. So it's like Royal Rangers and missionettes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And church ends and the episode's about to air. And my parents, we live on a parsonage, kind of like PB, like close and connected to the church. So we're like going into the house, and we start telling people like, hey, just come on in. You know, like,
Oh my gosh.
like just people from the church, like, come on in. And so there's a bunch of people at my parents' house. Sister Bonnie, who's like a 80-year-old woman who plays the
my
organ.
gosh.
We're all just sitting around because this is my moment. The
your moment.
episode opens with a pentagram. Okay? No. That is the opening of the episode. A pentagram.
No.
It is like on, Watch Mojo and stuff like that. Those list things. It's listed as like the darkest, most satanic episode of Criminal Minds.
dude.
The premise of the episode is like there is a serial killer who is a satanic cannibal.
Oh.
And at one point in the episode, there's like a search party for the missing woman. And this serial killer shows up, and they don't know it's him, right?
Yeah.
And they have like a potluck for all the people searching. And he put the woman in the chili that he made. So it's like just twisted, bro.
Oh
And
my gosh.
that is the episode
you made
I was in. You can see it. It's like season 3. I think the name of the episode is Lucky. So you can go back and watch
I'm gonna
and
find that.
see little awkward 6th grade Eliot.
6th grade.
Yeah, bro. But I was an actor. I could have made it big time.
Oh, bro, that is big time, bro.
Yeah, Criminal Minds. That's my 15 minutes of fame. That's my 2 truths and a lie.
Yeah.
I was in an episode of Criminal
Dang,
Minds.
bro.
Yeah.
Give us a little taste of those McDonald's lines. What were you saying? You said
Yeah,
like
I had to. It was something like,
No, make it
my
serious, make it
grandma's
legit, bro.
always
Make
like
it
if I
legit.
had to.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me
All right.
face the.
McDonald's, listen
All
up.
right. All right.
My grandma's always complaining about how hard it was back in her day. She had to walk to school in the snow. I forget all the lines, but
Bro,
it's
that
something
was
like
good.
I'm like on the
He's
same.
cooking.
But then
He's cooking.
but then I go, she had to walk to school in the snow, and she did. Wait a second. She didn't have McDonald's. Poor grandma.
Wow,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
And they didn't cast you.
I could have been like Flo from Progressive.
Dude,
from
oh
McDonald's.
my
You know what
God.
I'm saying?
I imagine to this day.
Jake from State Farm,
I
but
know,
from McDonald's.
bro. I'm gonna email this episode over to McDonald's. bro.
Everybody, yeah, let's
Yes.
boycott McDonald's. Justice,
Until they get him back.
justice for Elliot.
I know, because that
Justice
acting
for
was
Eliot.
on point. I be watching that on your birthday. I'm like, wow, this guy has real talent, man.
Yeah, that it factor.
I know.
It fact.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
definitely stands out like a sore thumb.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, no, you're welcome, bro.
So we're like a couple months like out of for when we're filming. We're a couple months out of camp, and the first thing I always like to ask is, was there anything like crazy or crazy stories from this specific camp that happened?
I'm trying to think. It like everything was such a blur. So we did 5 camps, like back to back
Yeah.
to back. You were at 3 of them.
3 of them.
3 of them. Yeah.
One of them I was with the group. But
Yeah.
the 3 of them I was there. Yeah.
So and then me and Gary and Solomon and Yanita went straight from camp, like legitimately,
Yeah.
straight from camp. Took a red eye to Ohio
Yeah.
for the National Youth Conference.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah. And so then I was doing some like hosting and videos there, and then straight back. So it's weird, like everything was a blur,
just
and I
kinda
feel like I didn't have
merged
time to
together.
even like fully process it.
Yeah.
So that's a good question, but I feel like stories from camp are gonna keep coming back into my mind, like Vietnam
Okay.
War memories. You know, like it's
You're
just
gonna
like
get the
something's
flashbacks.
gonna remind me, but. I don't know. I would say that. Sorry, that was me. I would say that I'm a busy guy, dude.
I know, man. This guy, it's McDonald's.
I'm not watching Monday Night Football. I'm declining phone calls because that's how
Yep.
important
Cabin
cabin
time,
time
bro.
is to me.
You need to show love
Yep.
to Eliot right here.
Show 'em love.
But I don't know. It was a pretty amazing camp. Like all of them.
Yeah.
I think they were super special. The speakers, the worship, the response, like
Yeah.
we just have real momentum. I guess I'll say this: one of the crazy things that happened before camp. Camp sold out like Coachella.
Oh yeah.
Dang.
So-
right.
Yeah.
Like and now I'm in a leadership role, so I get to
Yeah.
see behind the curtain in ways that I never did as a youth pastor, and it's stressful, bro. Because it's like that's an exciting thing,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
camp capacity is like 500 technically.
Like per camp.
Yeah. And we had like 600. So we were like making it work. But P1 had 900 people registered for just week 1 of camp. So we were just like, how are we going to do this? How is this going to work? But we made it happen.
I know.
Yeah.
Hats off to.
Man.
Wow,
SoCal.
man.
And cabin time happened at camp.
Yeah.
Dude.
And we gave shout out. We
Yep.
gave
Dude.
I
credit
know.
where credit
Hey.
is due. PB
Yeah.
was in the
Yep.
camp rules video.
Dude.
I know.
I know. These
What
guys,
did you?
like-
I'm interested to know. What did you think? Because we didn't tell you that was happening. What did you think when you saw that?
All right, bro. I just want to be honest with you. I was looking. I was like, "Oh, this is so cool. Who's that guy?" I didn't even
I know.
recognize
He told me
myself.
after, he was like, that looks awfully like our chapel. And I was like, dude,
I know.
that is
I
you.
noticed
That
the
was
chapel
you, dude.
before I even noticed you. I was like, wait, that's our chapel for sure. How'd they get in? I was like, and then I noticed. I was like, oh man, this
Dude,
guy.
how good was the camp rules video though?
Dude,
Bro,
it was
top notch.
so
Top
Solomon,
notch right there.
Solomon
He killed
it.
that
Yeah,
one,
bro
bro.
cooked.
Yeah, he knows. He's good at what he does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt.
yeah.
Merch.
Especially no, but
Ooh.
with SoCal, you guys are always like, these guys are like on the trends before I am. I was like, I found out about the Grimace Shake like the night before, and then I got there and I was like, man, these guys are like,
Dude,
these guys are
we
up to
had
par.
we had a small window. Like that's the thing with trends, like in youth ministry.
Yeah.
Is now more than ever. I feel like you just have such a small window to be in on a
Yes,
trend
bro.
because they're dead
Gone
so
within
quick.
like 2
Yeah.
weeks.
And it's so easy to be like cringy when
Yeah.
when you're trying to be like if we were to do a Grimace Shake thing now,
It would've
people would
been-
be
Yeah, that thing
and
is so
actually
dead.
2 months from now
Yeah.
is when it'll come out.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. So we just had this window and we're like, I bet it's like Grimace Shakes will probably be almost done, if not done. But I think we're still in the time
Yeah.
frame
Yep.
of it being funny.
It was definitely still relevant.
so
for
yeah,
sure.
it worked. But
For
that
sure,
was
yeah.
that was a buzzer beater
Yes,
thing too.
bro.
Obviously, 'cause-
Wow, no, I was late, bro. That was new to me. That's why it hit different for
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
It
you know
was
what?
good.
You're like
I
this is
just got-
hilarious.
I know. I was like, I want a Grimace Shake now.
Yeah, I never tried the Grimace
I
Shake.
tried
Me
it.
either. Is it good?
I tried it.
What's the flavor?
It kind of
Like
tasted like
grape?
a banana shake,
Oh, okay,
but honestly, I didn't really like it.
interesting.
It was a little weird, and I survived it.
Wow.
Wow.
Grimace Shake survivor.
Yeah.
You think you did?
I think I'm one of the only survivors.
Is that really how it is? Like when you're running youth, like do you try to stay in hip? No, this guy is so behind. This guy will start dabbing. I'm like, bro,
All right.
for time reference,
Let's be
bro.
real. Let's be real. I dab because it's so cringy. People laugh.
That's true.
Yeah, I feel like he knows what he's doing. And
know what I'm
that's
doing.
the thing too, is like if there's more respect for being true to who you are.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yep,
saying? Like and even the whole Grimace Shake, Piney Shake thing was not so much us trying to like force something trendy. We had no ideas going in. That's the real behind the curtain.
Yeah.
We were like 2 weeks from camp and we're like, we haven't done our camp rule. We had a ton of ideas. We just couldn't pull those off at that point.
Yeah.
So just be prepared. There's some more great camp rule videos coming.
Oh, I'm so down.
I'm ready.
But we just didn't have time to pull those off. So we're like, what could we do in a short period of time?
Yes.
And then what progressed was just sort of like a brainstorming session where we're like, what if we made them kind of like TikTok? And then we're like, well, we should do a Piney Shake. And then we're like, what if we did the whole thing Piney Shake?
Oh my
And then it
gosh.
was like, we were like, that's it. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So we
yeah.
went and filmed it, and the rest
Yeah,
is
that
history.
thing. I was actually falling out of my chair.
it was so good.
That was great.
It was
It's
funny.
Yeah, Solomon, he's the man.
Wow, this guy Solomon Joy. We had him, bro.
Yeah, what a
You had him,
legend.
bro.
You
Yeah,
had
I
him
know.
before,
What an absolute
before everything
legend.
blew up.
Yep, yep. 2 months from now, this
Yeah.
guy's gonna be. I don't know. He's gonna be somewhere.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like, oh, he was here first. But actually, since you're a returning guest,
Yeah.
we're gonna throw you off right now. Usually, our guest EPs are kind of like free flow, but they know this guy already. This
They
guy
know
already
me.
came. This guy's Kevin Time. He's a local now.
Yeah.
He's
They're
a
like,
local.
I know about this guy. We talked about his life last episode. So, would you do us the justice
Mm-hmm.
of giving us your thoughts on a topic that we prepared
Dude.
today?
Yeah.
All
Totally
right.
prepared
So,
today.
oh yeah, this guy got thrown on, kind of like, but it's okay because with the field that we're going to, I feel like you guys have a lot of
You
experience.
have more than enough
Yeah.
knowledge.
Easy, dude.
Yeah.
So before you do that, I just preached 2 months ago, yesterday, and I was preaching about like the gospel and sharing the gospel, and I mentioned the idea of like Jesus juking. Do you guys know what that is?
Yes. Yes, I do.
You know what a Jesus juke is?
no.
It's like, you know what a juke is? Like in
yeah.
Yeah,
football?
yeah.
So a Jesus juke is where you can like turn anything
Oh, okay,
spiritual.
okay.
It's like
Yeah,
making
yep.
every conversation forcibly
There we
about
go.
Jesus. And so in the crowd, I was like, give me a topic. I like did improv.
Oh, this
during
guy's
the
he's just
message.
gonna Jesus.
And so I
juke
was
on
like,
the pod.
give me something and I can Jesus juke it.
Yep.
And I did. I can
Yep.
do it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm pretty good at that.
We called
too,
that
I'm
like
not
a
gonna lie.
30-minute message thing where
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
like take the piece of paper and make a message out of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's more like not even a message. Like the one they gave me was like, we're putting in new water fountains at the church. So someone I think had that in their mind and they were like, water fountain. And so then I'm like,
Oh, come on.
so I'm like,
Living
yeah,
water,
that's
bro.
an
That writes
easy one. But
itself.
I'm like, oh, the water fountain's broken, but there is a fount that will never run dry. You know? So it's like
pulled a
that's how
John
you do
Zink.
it. Yeah,
Somebody
exactly.
starts speaking in tongues in the back,
Yeah,
bro.
100%.
All right, but if you're a regular viewer of Cabin Time, we do have topics, believe it or not. I know we had a lot of guests lately, so you guys are kind of like, hey, man, these guys are skimping us off our topics lately. But today we have one, and, it's kind of just like also free flow just because I just want to chill with my boys. I'm just trying to ball with my bros. But we're also just we're gonna talk a little bit about like lessons that you guys learned in leadership, because me as a new leader of a smaller podcast, there are some forks in the road, and maybe there are people of like smaller ministries out there or just starting that kind of want some intake from some vets, bro. How long have you been in youth ministry, PB?
It's been 84 years. Nah, about 10 years, man.
10 years.
At least been in for 9.
Yeah, I'm coming up on 10.
He's coming up on 10. I was gonna say that next. Are you
What?
getting weirded out yet
About what?
about how much I know about you?
I don't know. How did you know the 9-year thing?
Because I just know,
You just
bro.
did your research?
Yes, bro. I research, bro.
I like that.
Yep, I follow you on Instagram in real life.
Instagram and in real life.
You're like Hot Ones. You know that?
Oh, yeah.
Where he's always like,
Yeah, I'm kind of going.
are you gonna do a deep dive on my Instagram next?
Maybe. I'm going for more of the Nardwar vibes.
I was gonna say Nardwar.
You're not. I. That's what I'm saying. The information you've been hitting me with is more Sean Evans. Okay, where it's like stuff you can find out. Nardwar comes with like
I know,
the
he's
deep roots from
like-
He's like, in
born
third
at this
grade,
time.
you
Yeah.
stepped on this pebble.
Yeah.
We have it right here.
It's crazy, bro. If
Yeah.
you hit me with that would blow my mind.
We need to get on Nardwar.
Maybe you're
level.
saving something. Like
No,
you got
I'm
something.
Not, I'm not, bro.
That would be cool.
We need to get on Nardwar level.
I know.
My third appearance.
Yep.
That's
That's
what
when
I'm
we need to just-
expecting.
I need
from
to
you.
start following our guests in real life, like more often.
I want you to hire a private investigator.
Yep.
Just on you.
You see what part-time following Eliot does though? Like I kind of know that like base
Yeah,
level
the basic stuff.
Yep.
I feel known by
Yeah.
you. Yeah. So but your question was leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. What is for I'm gonna ask you PB, then we'll move it on to Eliot, bro.
All right.
This is what I always like to start off with whenever I have like someone who's kind of been in leadership for a while. I think I asked Pastor Kevin this one too, but for the people out there and for myself, what is like one? I'm gonna catch you by surprise right now, so you're gonna have to dig deep into your brain
All right, let's go.
because I'm not gonna
ready
take
for
I don't
this.
know for an
Let's
answer.
get it.
All right.
What is
I don't know.
okay?
I'm joking.
Amen to that one,
I'm
brother.
Joking, I'm joking.
All right, what is like one of the most valuable lessons you've learned in being in a leadership position to this date, bro?
One of the most valuable.
Yeah, that you learned firsthand, not one that you read in a book. Like it happened, and you're like, "Dang, bro! Like, wow! For next time, don't do that."
Are you in frame? Is he in frame?
Sorry.
Oh.
I was trying to make room for PB.
It's okay.
you're good, you're good.
I'd rather them think it's you talking.
I
than
wanted
me.
to make sure you were in frame.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I would say one of the most important things I've learned is to go with the flow. Things are going to go wrong, and if you are trying so hard to keep it exactly the way that you envision it, with no leeway, you're going to crumble. You have
Oh
to be
my
flexible enough to say, hey, we're going to try a different way, and sometimes your way is not the best way.
Yes, bro.
Sometimes the lowly little sixth grader is going to have a better idea at doing something, and you have to be mature enough to say, you know what? Let's go with what you're thinking. Let's do that and see how it works.
Is that like every Wednesday night for you? Because I feel like something has to hit the
No.
fan. Like as that's kind of like a lot of the podcasts too. I mean, someone's like, I'm not feeling good. I'm like, dang, bro, I gotta like tell someone else to pull up right now, or I don't know, maybe I don't know. There's just a lot of going with the flow.
Yeah.
So
So it's just how it works. But I'm telling you,
Yeah.
if you can be, obviously you have your vision, you have what you're doing, but if you're willing to be able to have a little wiggle room, wiggle to move on through, you're going to be able to get through a lot of situations and a lot of
yeah,
problems.
bro.
So
This guy is a master of going with the flow, bro. I remember it was like my first night as a leader, bro. And this guy, he was like, I forgot which leader. He was like, all right, this leader has game. This is like kind of like base level. I could come up with a game right now, but the leader just fast forward. He didn't show up, or she. I forgot who it was, but it didn't show
No
up.
names, no
And you're
names.
like, and you're like, all right, we're gonna play a game right now, and it actually turned out to be really fun. Like I had a good time, bro. I was getting mad competitive, and this guy was like, well, thanks. I came up with it as we were playing it, and I was like, yep, that's the story of this guy's life, huh?
yeah, an example of that would definitely be like right after COVID was coming out and we were starting our very first youth event. It was going hiking because everything was still locked down. And we had 4 people sign up for this youth event.
Oh no!
And
I
so,
remember
okay, I
this.
was like, okay. And this is literally Kalai's and Hannah's very first
Yeah,
day
bro.
as youth leaders. First day as youth leaders. And so they decided to show up as well. And we got the church van, 4 students, a few youth leaders. It's going to be fire. And 24 students showed up that day for that. And we had to figure out cars. And so we were throwing people behind illegally in the back seats and along the side of the doors. And
And then we were going back up the hill, and like half the kids couldn't even make it up there. Like, bro, I'm so
Yeah, we were walking back up, and some student decided to go, "Hey, let's go to the hard trail."
Yeah, bro.
And yeah, we almost didn't make it up.
yeah.
but you know what? It ended up being one of the best events that we've ever had just because
Yeah, I'm not gonna
was
lie, that was a
memorable
banger.
for
That was a
sure.
banger. Yeah. All right, Eliot. Anyways, are you offended that I called you that? I'm sorry, bro.
No.
Eliot. I know. Sorry. That's just I don't know. Amen. All right. Anyways, bro, what is like same thing, bro? What is like something that maybe like a nugget you could give to someone who's kind of like newly in a leadership position? Like, what is something pretty valuable that you learned, bro?
Yeah. I'll tell you something like I learned the hard way, I guess. And that is you can't lead everybody the exact same way.
Oh, that's good.
You know, for instance, one of my close friends, he actually co-leads the youth ministry that I left. His name's Bankhead, right?
Oh yeah.
And I've known him since I was young, and we grew up in youth together. He'd be a great person to have on this podcast, by the way. Like, he's got great stories.
Wasn't
He
he
lies about me, though. Yeah, he was on
in the trenches.
Yeah, but he lies about me, but he's a great dude.
I don't know.
But like, because I have that relational equity with him,
Yeah.
there's like a way that I can talk with him where I don't really have to hold back. And
Yeah.
he comes from a home that's like similar to mine. So his mom is like my black mom, and my mom is like his white mom.
Yeah.
And so our moms are just kind of the same intensity. And so we interpret like that type of intensity as love because we've seen that with our moms. But I would address him in a way when something wasn't going right, or if he had like made a mistake in more of an aggressive way. And because he responded well to that, I would do that with other leaders as well. And they did not respond the same way. And that's the thing too, is I always went back to like, I'm a big justice guy. Like just the other day I was with Sawyer at Knott's, and people were trying to cut some other people in line. It didn't even have to do with me, but I was like, not on my watch. I don't like I can't,
Batman up at Knott's.
I can't
bro.
have that happen, bro. Like I'll watch like Karen videos, you know, and most of the time I'm like, oh, they're the worst. But there's a couple times where I'm like, nah, they're right.
Oh, that's what I would have done.
yeah, I'm like, oh, I probably would have done the same thing. But my point is, like, there was times in youth ministry. I went through a really tough season in youth ministry about 2 years in. I like recruited a bunch of leaders right away. My only requirement was like, are you college age?
Yeah.
And mostly saved, you know?
Mostly,
Because I just wanted atmosphere and I wanted to fill the room. It was like strategically not terrible, but what happened was I got a lot of people in who were only in because of their relationship with me, not because they felt called to students, right?
Wow.
And at the end of the day, that was very negative for the group. It produced like quick growth, but not sustainable growth.
Yeah.
So it looked good on Instagram and it looked successful, but there wasn't depth, you know, like Gary talks about depth over hype.
That's
I
right.
was building something based on hype that had no depth. And my leaders, almost like most of them and almost all of them around the same time, started to get resentful of the standard I was trying to keep and what we were trying to do. And it just went south, man. And there's so much that like early on, I was so set in the way that I was handling things, and I felt right. And I felt like this is the lesson God taught me in that season, was just because you're maybe justified doesn't mean you're doing things right.
That's good.
Because there is something to the way things are being perceived.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah,
could go
bro.
to a stranger on the street and be like, you're going to hell if you don't accept Jesus. And it's like, that statement might not be false, but I don't know if that's the correct way to handle that.
The delivery was not the right approach.
Yeah, sometimes we think of like things in terms of like, oh, share the gospel, like I did my part, you know? But there is this like burden that we should have for the lost and with students and with leading leaders. And I think I've just learned, just because you're justified doesn't mean you're right.
Yeah.
You got to take into account people's personalities, people's
bro.
stories. And that doesn't mean to lessen your expectation of leadership. In fact, my expectation of leadership increased, but I learned to be able to say, hey man, like if you're not up for that, there are no hard feelings. Like I love you, you know, not taking it personally, but we can't afford not to have high quality leaders when it comes to students. And we can't afford not to set the bar when it comes to character and integrity, because what we're doing is so important. So I learned that the hard way. It was a tough, by like 2-3 years in, I wanted to quit ministry because I had like lost my leaders who were also my friends and not in like a super positive way. There's people to this day that like don't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
And I think it was easy for me to be like, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with them? But to be fair, I didn't handle everything correctly. You know, I could have handled things a lot better.
Yeah.
And if I went back, I would have. And so, yeah.
Yeah, dude. You're saving other people time. I mean,
Yeah,
they
for
probably
real.
would have went through that season. So, yeah, bro. What did you like at that 2-year mark? You're thinking of like quitting and being done with it. Like, what pulled you out of that?
Yeah, it's a good question. Relationships with other youth pastors. I remember, I mean, Gary was monumental in that time. And I remember just talking through it with him, like what I had been going through, and knowing he was there was great.
Yeah.
But there was like a youth pastor training or something. It was pretty small, like not big time. And he was like, it's free. You want to just go with me? It was at Saddleback. And it was actually Josh Griffin, who him and Doug Fields,
Okay, yeah.
they run Download Youth Ministry, which is a resource for youth pastors.
Yeah.
And he spoke a session that it like impacted my life in a real way. And I don't really remember what he talked about, but he had the heart of a youth pastor, which is what I feel about PB. That's why we gave him. No,
Yeah,
true.
no, I do too.
Honestly,
bro.
I'm not just hyping him up.
Yeah.
Like the thing that I think is so special, and what you guys have that's special at your church too, and all of us, the team, me, Gary, Matt, Tony, we all agree there's something special. There's healthy culture, and I think it stems from just like the heart of youth ministry, the heart of a youth pastor. I was so caught up in numbers and graphics and Instagram and getting asked to speak places. Like I turned youth ministry into something I don't think it was meant to be. And it was hearing Josh just kind of be like a goofy dude, like who wasn't concerned with dressing cool or like impressing everybody, but just loving students.
Yep.
And I was like, that was the youth pastor who molded my life. My youth pastor was a guy named Pastor Dave. And again, like, he wasn't so caught up with all the things that we make ministry into now. I think sometimes ministry now is all to like impress people outside of our group.
Yeah.
Like our merch launch or like, whatever. It's all about like if other youth pastors and other people think it's cool. And it's like, who cares if your students don't want to wear it? Who cares if the people that you're ministering to haven't caught the vision? And so, yeah, it was that session. And I was like, oh, this is a lot simpler than I've made it out to be.
Yeah.
I'm making this more difficult than it needs to be. Bro. I've made the metrics of success something they weren't supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I got to get back to just like why I felt called to this in the first place and like trying to be that in people's lives. And it was way healthier. Like I felt way better. And then you learn because you can contextualize that. If I have a big leadership team, I could do that with a big leadership team.
Yeah.
If I have a small leadership team, I could do that with a small leadership team. It's like, you're faithful in your field.
Yeah.
We talked at this event we were just at, but that's a big learning curve in my life is like the parable of the sowers, the parable of the talents, that one guy was given 5, one guy was given 2, one guy was given 1. And we always focus on the guy who buried his talent. But like the more interesting people to me are the first guy and the second guy. The one who got 5 and turned it into 10, and the one who got 2 and turned it into 4. Because the second servant ended with less than what the first servant started with.
Yeah.
And so this is why comparison is terrible.
Yes.
Because if the metrics of success are the number of talents, which isn't like juggling and singing, right? It's a Bible like number thing, which is so confusing. But if it was all about that, then like the second guy is unsuccessful. But it wasn't. It was about the heart. It was about faithfulness. God gives us what we can handle. Being faithful in your field, because the master's response to both servants is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful with little. I'll set you ruler over much. And that's the thing is like in a generation that is ambitious and like wants more, it's great. But what happens is and I was this guy. I was the kid in like elementary school who just wanted to get to junior high. I was in junior high, I just wanted to be in high school. When I was in high school, I just wanted to be a leader. Like I always wanted to be seen as more than what I was at the moment.
Yeah.
And that in and of itself is good because that's ambition. But it also can be discontentment. And it can lead to not being faithful in your field.
Yeah.
And it can create in you a like this wrong way of thinking where you're constantly chasing much and you're not being faithful with what you have. And that's the paradigm of it all, though, is if you aren't faithful with little, you'll never get to much. If you're not faithful with where you are right now, you'll never get to what's next, because it's where you are right now that prepares you for what's next. And you cannot fake faithfulness.
That's
You can
absolutely
go
true.
through the motions, but that's not faithfulness.
Yeah.
Faithfulness requires a heart of saying, I love what I get to do. We say
That's
that all
right.
the time. Oh,
That's right.
we get to do this.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who say that I don't believe, you know? And it's like, but when you get to that place of like contentment and being like, man, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be for right now. And what does the future hold? I was a youth pastor for 5 more years after.
Oh yeah.
Cut out me doing the math on my hands in case people saw it. For 5 more years after that time of when I wanted to quit, and I would have kept on. Like I wanted to do 30 years at the same youth ministry like Gary, but God opened a door for something new. I wasn't chasing that down. I wasn't forcing doors open. And that's the beauty, is like opportunity follows obedience, you know?
That's right. That's good.
Wow.
That is
Yeah,
really
bro.
good.
Oh my goodness, that was so good,
Dude.
bro.
That was definitely good. The more like, I guess I was the kind of same with you. Like when I was in middle school, I was like, man, I can't wait to be in high school. I was in high school. I remember Pastor Brian was my youth pastor since I was a freshman. I was like, can't wait to be a leader. And he always told me, he was like, I have to remind myself you're a student. You need to stay over there.
Yeah, it's because you look like
Yeah, I know. This
like you
guy
got
is
a mortgage,
Yeah,
and
bro.
I think you're older than me, bro. Especially now that I shaved my mustache. Dude.
But yeah, like now that I'm a leader and I've been a leader for a little bit now, like an official leader for a little bit now, the more I'm learning from Pastor Brian, the more we're just kind of just deep diving in him, just teaching me like, this is what happens in youth ministry. And like, this is how you go about that. And the more I'm just like walking with him in that, like, I 100% agree with that.
It's so cool to see that live too. Like when something like goes wrong in youth,
dude.
he like literally will pull Hannah and Sam to the side. He'll be like, "Okay,
Teaching moment.
It's like he freezes the frame of the room.
No, seriously.
And everyone's in place, and he's like, "All right, teaching moment.
Teaching
okay,
moment.
so when someone does that, you do this,
Yeah.
and just make sure that you don't do that."
Yeah.
No, it's special. Like, truly, there's a reason we gave him Youth Pastor of the Year. Like
100%.
it's something because we want other youth pastors to see that that's the goal, you know, is to have healthy culture and disciple people well, and be faithful where you're at, not be preoccupied in what everybody else is doing. And that isn't to say you're unaware, right? Like we steal ideas from other people
All the time.
We're in community with other people, but that there's a difference between that and like trying to, be someone you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, I got another one for you guys though.
Okie dokie.
What does compared to like before you were in a, if you can remember that part. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't mean to burn you like that, bro.
Yikes.
But before you were in a position of leadership, how long have you been a youth pastor for?
Oh gosh, since 2015.
Dang, beast mode, bro.
Oh
But
gosh, yeah.
what is your time with God look like as a leader? You don't even have to compare it to
Yeah.
before, because I mean you could spend.
Well,
just
I
as
mean,
much
it's pretty
time with
much
God
the
as-
same for the most part. If anything, my desperation for Jesus has increased.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus, I need you in everything. It's not standard. Sometimes my time with Jesus is a simple, all right, I'm going to read the Bible of the day and then move on. And sometimes it's this intimate 2-hour worship session, crying, it's not coming down from my nose and everything like that. But the one thing I definitely noticed since coming on as a youth pastor, as a leader, is, man, without Jesus, you can't do this. You
Yeah.
won't have the longevity. You won't have the excitement. You won't have the passion. Jesus is what pursues everything, and you can't have a burden for students if you don't have a burden for God and the things that
Dang.
God adores.
Yeah, bro. Like my God time, bro. It's like I look at my life as like a never ending prayer, bro. Like it may not be a long prayer, but like I can't go along without praying though. Like I'll
That's
like
it.
it's like
Yeah.
oh I stubbed my toe. Oh, Jesus,
It's like
man.
crack. You just can't stop.
You
It's
just
literally
can't
like-
stop.
It's like, dang, bro, should I even say amen? I feel like I'm gonna pray again in like 5 more minutes right now. I'm like, oh, I'm in the car. Oh, I got food in front of me. Oh, I'm just feeling weird right now. You know, oh, I stubbed my toe. My arm's broken. You know, it's just like a bunch of things. What about you, Elliot, bro? Like, what does your time with God look like just now, I guess, in this season?
Yeah, I kind of shared at camp. My whole message was just based off the power of like presence. And that came from just the last season of life that I've been in. Is I've done a lot of like ministry. I feel like this season of my life has been the most successful I've been in ministry, while at the same time being the most personally disconnected I've been from God, which is weird and doesn't make sense. But I think a lot of that is the Mary Martha thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work to be done, and it's easy to get preoccupied with busyness
So true.
and
so
miss
true.
like moments,
Yeah.
you know? And I don't know, I think I just constantly have to remind myself, and that's the thing, I like that you said that, PB, that it's like, it's not that different from when you started. It's like, there's something so beautiful, but also, depending on my mood, annoying about the fact that
Yes.
the answer is so simple.
Yeah.
You know, like when I feel discombobulated or things are out of whack or everything, you know, like,
Yeah.
and I'll go to my mentors. The first questions they'll always ask me is, you know, how's your prayer life? How's your time in the Word?
Yeah.
And almost always when I'm in a really
Yep, that's
low,
it.
empty season, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, well, it's not great.
Yeah.
And to me, I'd rather the answer be complicated, I guess, you know? I'd rather them tell me like, well, here's what you got to do, you know? It's something like that. But it is true. It's like, it's that consistent, simple habits and practice of like just being with God,
Yeah,
being
Yeah.
in His Word, spending time in His presence.
Yeah.
And this is the hard part about like the deeper you get into ministry is like you do that, but it's like at times, and I might have said this at camp, I can't remember, but like I think I've at times turned Jesus into a means to an end. Like I know the result of spending time with Him, and that's what I'm chasing. You know, it's like
Wow.
if I'm with Him, I know that I can't do Youth Alive without Him. I know that I can't speak
Yeah.
passionately and powerfully without Him. I've got nothing to say. Like I could probably make people laugh, but it's like that's about it. I can't
Yeah.
transform your life.
Yeah.
And so anything like that that's ever happened is only through the power of the Holy Spirit, you know? And so I know all that. Like I've been in
Yeah.
church and ministry long enough
Yeah.
to know all that. So I think at times I'm like, I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better father. I want to be a better leader. I want all these things that come from spending time with Jesus.
Yeah.
But if that's my reason, then I think it's messed up. Like
Yeah.
my reason needs to be, I want to spend time with Jesus because I want to spend time with
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
That's
it's just that's real like meta, but that's all how I am. I'm an overthinker.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like I overcomplicate things, but it's it's just coming back to
Yeah,
those
bro.
simple moments of like being in His presence,
Yeah.
and everything else will be all right.
You hit it right on the head though. Like I feel like that so often too. Like why does the answer have to be so simple? Like I want to work for it, bro.
If it was like the plot to National Treasure, I've said that before in a sermon. I've said that maybe, I don't know if it was with you guys, but I've said that at youth groups before. It's like, if I was going to go to a group and I told them like, okay guys, listen, don't record this. Just listen. I need you to get a 1983 edition of a New King James Version and go to the map section. And if you tear the page open, you know, like if I started to
bro.
lay out like, here's how you're gonna find your purpose, and here's how you're gonna find like the meaning of life. Everyone would be taking notes.
Yes.
I know.
And yet I'm giving the simple message of the gospel,
And they're not
and they're just
listening.
like, and that's the issue of even just living in our Western society is like we are so inundated with this information of the goodness of God, the love of God, the gospel, that I think we've lost some of what that means. Like God exists. That's crazy. That's crazy in and of
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
There is a creator. and he created everything with a plan and a purpose.
Yeah.
And he knows me, and he knows you. And not only does he know us, he loves us. He loves us
right.
so much that
Praise the Lord.
he paid for the price of our sin. He put on flesh. He sent
Yeah.
his one and only son, right? And he died on the cross. And not only did he save you, think about that. The creator of the universe saved you. That in and of itself, we could stop there.
Yeah.
But he wants to use you, because
Yeah.
that's the
It's
whole
so
thing with Youth
crazy.
Alive is like, and this is PB would echo this too. We don't do youth ministry. It's not a babysitting service. It's not so a big
Yeah.
church can focus. It's because we believe in this generation. We know that God is calling them and wants to use them.
That's it.
And we're proponents of sooner rather than later. Like, I don't believe you have to spend your whole life settling for counterfeit versions of fulfillment or settling for second best to
Yeah.
realize God's what you needed, right?
Yeah.
That's why we do what we do. And so I think that's what our task is at
Yeah,
times,
bro.
is trying to help students understand the weight of this. Like,
Yeah.
this means something,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, wow.
Dang, that's really good.
What a bangaroni.
That's really good.
You guys have anything to add on to like being a leader? What is like, if you could leave someone with something, what would you tell them? Just try your hardest and just love God and love people.
I would say trust God and just go for it.
Yeah.
So many times
Full send.
we say we're gonna pray about it, and in the end we really don't pray about it whatsoever. Honestly, if God's put something in your heart, say, okay, God, I'm gonna be obedient and go for it. It's better to be obedient and be wrong. It's like, hey, I try to at least follow, than to know you're supposed to do something and not do it.
Yeah, bro.
Mm.
So definitely take the plunge, do it. Youth Alive.
Yeah.
Come on. So good.
Anything you want to leave with these people before we jump into challenge time, bro?
Let's do the challenge, bro.
All right, we're in there. I hope with this one we're gonna play in teams. Our first team cabin time challenge. I want to be on Pastor Brian's team. No, you're gonna be on Eliot's team.
I want to be on Eliot's team.
All right,
Okay.
fine. Then we're head to head.
That's
Great.
right.
Let's
All
get
right.
it.
But you have to face this way.
Oh,
This
All
way?
right? No, you guys can face this way. We have to face them.
Wait.
All right.
What am I doing?
So, well, I'm gonna explain right now,
Oh,
bro.
okay.
Dang, jeez, getting so excited there.
I'm ready.
all right.
All right, so Joel will give us, me and PB, away from them, a figure to draw. And with our eyes covered, maybe by our hats, we will try to draw it on this piece of paper.
All right.
Our teammate has to guess. And then,
What it is?
yeah, and
Okay.
then they get to draw one. And
All right.
then whoever
We
guesses it.
Where's his pen?
Huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to go grab it
Wow.
right now. Whoever
Trying to
guesses
knock
it.
us out already.
Whoever guesses it better and more and quicker wins. And
It's
the
a
losers, guess what the losers have to do?
What?
I thought we were getting out of like eating something or whatever.
Oh, well, you don't
It's
have
not
to eat
eating
something.
Okay, what is it?
I will put towels on this desk for the losers to do their challenge. They have to headbutt an egg on the table.
Excellent.
An
So,
egg?
Yeah, so your
Like
your forehead.
egg here and just like
Yeah.
Are they cold eggs? Because that's the thing in youth ministry. You always do like the egg games, and if they're cold, it's
is
basically
rock
like you're,
solid.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
headbutting a rock.
Well, they're pretty cold. I kept them in this cooler.
you should take them out.
Yeah, they don't need to be cold. Like they shouldn't have been in a cooler at all.
All right, let's get this stuff started though.
Well, let's just something.
Anything.
I can't see.
Wow. All
Is
right.
your pen ready?
Okay, you tell
Elliot,
us-
just
you tell
say,
us when
just
we're
yell
ready.
it out when you see it. Okay. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
A circle.
A Jesus fish.
Fish.
Oh,
Oh,
he
who
said
got
it.
that first? Who
He
got
said
that
it. He
first?
said Jesus.
I said Jesus fish.
Was it specifically Jesus
fish?
What
Automatically.
was it? What was it, Joel?
Yeah, what was
Jesus
it, Joel?
automatically wins.
If it's a Jesus fish, I said fish first.
no.
got it
The
first?
word specifically was just a fish.
Yes.
Which-
It was fish.
Jesus is
It was Sam.
Starts
But
with
to
J.
make things interesting, we are Christian on this podcast, so
right.
Jesus fish
Oh.
wins.
That's right.
I promise.
You better promise. If
promise to.
if it comes out like Picasso perfect drawing, I will not believe you, bro. So
No.
you better
All right,
make sure
I'm
it's
ready.
nice and
I'm
ugly.
ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm
Oh,
ready for
no.
this.
Wait.
Oh no.
Wait, is he
You
go?
don't know.
Someone has
His
to
eyes
say
are
All right,
go.
close your eyes now. Close
Okay.
your eyes now.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
What the heck?
Let me try it again.
Is it a caterpillar?
An ant, a bug,
I don't know where I
ladybug.
was.
a girl, a woman.
Ladybug.
Oh, hair, ponytails.
It's
Please, draw better.
I don't know what this is.
I feel like
Sunrise.
they're just missing. They're just missing, bro.
Bro,
Am I missing?
He also said
Girl.
this was an easy one.
This is not an easy
Yeah,
one,
this is
bro.
very
Girl,
difficult.
lady,
Wait, let me see here.
You're way off, bro.
Okay.
See if you have your eyes open.
happy.
No, I don't have my eyes open.
Happy.
It's like I don't know where I
give
was.
hints.
Caterpillar.
You got 10 seconds.
Slug.
If not, we'll change the word.
Slug.
A comb.
Caterpillar. Snake.
Who said that?
Comb. That was me.
Yes.
Oh, let's go! Let's go!
Look, that is a great drawing.
That
my
is a
eyes were
perfect-
closed.
low-key,
That one's
he could-
perfect.
This looks. I don't know. I was.
The other one looked
Wow.
like a sunset.
Hold
I'm
up,
just saying.
Hold up this one.
Yeah.
You spent too much time thinking. You should have just started drawing whatever your thoughts could produce.
Keep it simple,
He
guys. Keep it
peeked.
simple.
He was peeking.
Huh? No, I said
Me?
thinking.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking.
I was like, my eyes were closed. the
All
whole
right,
time.
Sam. We'll sit across from each other.
So the eggs.
Hey,
Put it in the middle.
Oh, we're gonna hit our heads together.
for maybe like the floor.
Yeah, we got me.
Okay.
You're ready to like catch it.
I feel like if you guys do this the right way, you'll be alright.
I don't want to.
Ready? 3,
I'm gonna
2,
hit my head on yours.
1, go!
Who's going first? I don't want to hit my head on you.
I'm trying to.
I go. Oh! No, you gotta break it. You gotta get that yolk in your
The
face.
yolk is out, bro.
Remember what Jesus says? His yoke is 3, 4. All right, here we go.
Side of egg right there.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Cabin Time with Eliot, Sam, and PB. With that being said, over and out.
Over and out.